So today we are going to start the third chapter in the history, that is arrival of Europeans in India. As reading the title, the first question that comes in our mind is why European countries wanted to come to India? What were the reasons? So let's have a look at it. So, owing to Renaissance in Europe, coupled with religious reforms and geographical exploration from 13th to 16th century AD, many changes were taking place in Europe. So, from 13th to 16th century, there was a Renaissance going on in Europe, and it was coupled with religious reforms, and there were also geographical exploration taking place in Europe, and so there were many changes that were taking place in Europe during 13th to 16th century AD. Okay, it was discarding feudal thinking and practices and becoming modern. So what Europe was doing was it was discarding feudal thinking. So what is feudal thinking of feudalism? It is a combination of legal, economic, military and cultural customs that flourished in medieval Europe between the 9th and 15th century. So it was a combination of legal, economic, military and cultural customs also. Okay. It was a way of structuring society. So what was that? It was a way of structuring society around the relationships that were derived from holding of land and exchange for service or labor. So it was a way of structuring of society. It was the way of structure of a society that was built around a relationship that was derived from holding of land and the exchange for service and labor. Okay. So we can say that system of land ownership and duties were there, and all the land in the kingdom was the king's. So whatever land there was in Europe, it was considered it was of king. And but however, the king would give that some of the land to the lords or nobles who fought for him, called vassals, and this gift of lands were called as fiefs. Let's understand. So over here you can see the four classes in the feudal system, that is king, nobility, knights and vassals. So what used to happen was king used to provide money, army on demand, and he used to give the land to his many nobles. And what nobles used to do? They used to give the land to his many knights. And what knights used to do? They used to give the land to many vassals. And vassals were also the peasants or the agriculturers who used to grow the food. And in return to the favor of land, what the vassals used to do, they used to provide military service and food on demand. So then when there was a demand of military service or food, the vassal used to provide them against the land they got from the knight. Then what knight used to give? Provide military service and protection on demand. The land what they got, because of that, they used to provide military service and protection on demand. And what nobility used to do? They used to provide money, army on demand to the king. Okay, so this is how the feudal system used to work in Europe. But Europe were discarding this feudal thinking and they were becoming modern in their practices. Then England held an important place in the process as it has accepted and developed democracy. So England held an important place because it has accepted and developed the democracy. So England was the first one to develop and accept the democracy. Okay, it based its rule on rationality and was able to develop a progressive social system. In short, many great thinkers in the 18th century of Europe created the age of enlightenment and gave the message of humanism, equality and liberty. On the other hand, we have seen in the previous chapter that India still continued to hold on the feudal values and conservatism. So there were many changes taking place in Europe. So this was also the reason that European countries wanted to explore and wanted to come to India. Okay. Then even in Mughal ages, India held an important position in world economy. As in 11th standard, we have seen that from the ancient time itself, India has been trading goods and spices with European countries. And even in the Mughal ages, India held an important position in the world economy. And why it held an important position? Because river-fed large plains of India led to immense growth in agriculture. Because we have fed plains in our India, we have many rivers, and because of that there is an immense growth in agriculture, and thus this development agriculture allowed many handicraft industries to flourish, and because of this agriculture many handicraft industries could flourish during that time. And there was a huge demand of Indian products such as woven clothes, sweets, condiments, timber and silk clothes in Europe. So we studied in 11th also which all commodities were traded with Europe, and because of that it can be said that foreigners came to India to exploit their business potentials. So they wanted to have their business in India, they wanted to flourish their business, so the Europeans wanted to come to India. Okay. Then India had a business relationship with Europe and the rest of the world right from the ancient period. We know that this business had kept on growing right from the time of Greek and Roman empires. During the Middle Ages, Arabs established their monopoly on the business between India and Europe. So, in the Middle Ages, Arab established their monopoly on the business between India and Europe. And even then, Gujarati and South Indian business were in the contact of businessmen of Europe, Africa, Eastern Asian countries. So, India had trading relations with many countries during the Middle Ages time also. And there were also struggles in order to profit from the immensely profitable trade, and there were always a struggle going on to get profit from this trade with India. Okay. Then the next reason that people wanted to come to India was Turkey established its rule over Constantinople in 1453 AD. As a result, the trade route to east as well as the west went in the control of the Turks. That is, the east and the west trade route went in the control of the Turkey. And along with this, the business in the rest of the Europe and Asia dominated by businessmen of Venice and Geneva. Let's understand it with a. So here is the view of world map. Our India is over here, and in the red the Turkey is over here, and you can see the European continent over here. Okay. So what the Turkey did was it took the control over Constantinople. Let's have a zoomed in map. So the current Istanbul was formerly known as Constantinople, and Turkey took over this region, and this led to the control of east and the west trade that was taking place, the east and the west trade route that was taking place between the countries. So how was the control over Constantinople led to the control of trade route? Let's see in the bigger map. So as you can see the European countries, So as you can see the European countries are over here. They used to trade from this sea, the sea you can see over here. Then they used to come to the Mediterranean Sea, and from this channel they used to come to the other countries to trade. Okay. So how did Turkey control that? Let's have a look. This is Turkey and this is Constantinople, and currently it is known as Istanbul. Here we have Black Sea and here we have Aegean Sea. So this is Europe. So if the Europe wanted to trade with other countries, they need to pass from the Black Sea. And as you can see, here is a narrow strait, here and over here. What do you mean by strait? Strait is a narrow portion of sea that connects two sea. So here you can see Black Sea and here Sea of Marmara. This is Sea of Marmara. So Black Sea and Sea of Marmara was connected by the Strait of Bosphorus. Okay. So here is the Strait of Bosphorus. Bosphorus, Strait of Bosphorus. And here you have the Strait of Dardanelles, that is Dardanelles, Dardanelles. Okay, so the two straits were forming because of the land position of Turkey and the Istanbul. So they control these two straits. And if Europe wanted to trade something with other countries, they need to pass from these two straits, and because it was in the control of Turkey, it was not possible for the other European countries to trade with the west and the east, and the trade between the west and the east was completely controlled by the Turkey. And this was the reason that the European countries wanted to find other way, and thus they came to India and the other countries of the world. Okay. So then we have, they did not want Western European countries such as Spain and Portugal to enter into the business. What did the Turks and the Venice or Geneva wanted to do? They did not wanted the Spain and the Portugal to enter into the business. and as a result the countries of the Western Europe started exploring the sea route to reach the spice center of India and Indonesia. Let's again have this on map. So in this map you can see here is the Portugal and the Spain, and over here we have our India, and this is Indonesia. So as Venice and Geneva didn't want any other country, that is particularly Spain and Portugal, to enter into the business, and this forced the Spain and Portugal to start exploring the sea route to reach India and the Indonesia. Okay. And known as the Spice Island, the region around Indonesia was known during those times as East Indies. So the region around the Indonesia during those time was known as East Indies because of the Spice Island. India was famous for its spices, and so near Indonesia the islands were called as East Indies. Okay. And during the 15th century there was a considerable progress in shipbuilding, and also one thing to note that along with those reasons in 15th century there was a considerable progress in shipbuilding. So humankind was developing in scientific way also, and there were changes in thinking also, and also they developed the communication technologies. Okay, so coupled with the Renaissance and scientific outlook make European people courageous, and they turn towards geographical explorations. So what were the reasons? Trade, Renaissance, scientific outlook, and the changes in the thinking of the people of European countries. Okay, so Portugal and Spain took initiative in this direction. So what were the which were the first two countries that took the initiatives? That was Portugal and the Spain. Their citizens began an age of geographical exploration with the financial assistance of their government. So the citizens began to do the geographical exploration, but they were aided financially by their governments. So the Columbus of Spain became famous for discovering America in 1492 AD, and Vasco da Gama of Portugal discovered safe sea route from Europe to India in 1498, and he gave this sea route the name Cape of Good Hope. By this discovery he initiated a new chapter in the world history, and so this is how the advent of European powers can be seen in India. So during the 16th century, traders and soldiers of Europe increased their efforts of gaining entry in Asian countries. Okay, so in 16th century, along with traders, soldiers of Europe also increased their efforts of gaining entry into Asian countries, and the immensely profitable trade was the main reason for this endeavor. So why did they took such a long journey, and why did they did the exploration, geographical exploration? Because they wanted to have profitable trade with India. Okay. So in the next lecture we will go on with the countries that all came to India.